You have an exact clone of yourself for 24 hours. What would you do? Religious village somewhere remote. Have them go full-on preacher mode and make a dramatic show of their disappearance on the town square after 24 hours, make it look like ascension. A sacrifice, whatevs. Then after a few days, go there myself. Pretend I re-arose from the dead and get worshipped. Or at least make some money with interviews. Also seconding everyone else on the NSFW stuff just for the heck of it. I'd get some sleep without wasting away one of my days off, or can I pick the day? Plan it so I can use them for one day before my weekend or vacation, so I can have an extra day off to go out of town. And try to think about how I can use them to earn double extra money. But it's hard to think of something that wouldn't need them for more than a day. Play games. It's easy to find people to play games with, but hard to find people who like my favorite board games. Plus, being clones, we would have a doozy of a time with the mind games a la The Prince's Bride. I have a twin brother, so it would probably make me miss him. I wonder what it would be like if both me and my twin had a clone for a day and got together for a weekend. If gaming, I would start off by asking for ideas on what I should do the rest of the day. He best and definitely mess with my family. Have my clone go on a date if I can't convince clone to go by herself. And I'd joy. And we'd just have to find someone who'd want to go on a date with twins. 24 hours is too short. I know I'd miss her. I'd ask her to sort my wardrobes and do a declutter. She knows exactly what I want to keep. Or maybe I'd just say she was my twin and carry on life. What happens the clone after 24 hours? If I get to keep the expired clone body, and I fake my death and bequeath my new identity, my full realized estate, then I sit back and enjoy my new life with way more money. Define Homer's magical hammock and start cloning more so they could get all the shit I need to get done. While I catch up on the sleep I've missed out on since July. And the birth of my daughter. Don't get me wrong, I love her and she's sticking around. But damn it, she has no concept of proper sleeping habits, like other babies. People then had a duel to the death. If I win him worthy of living, and if I die the clone would disappear in 24 hours. If I can't kill my own copy, and how will I live knowing I can't compete with myself? If it's an exact clone, I'll probably hang out with him for the whole day. I usually go cycling, take a walk and watch anime alone, so I'd love to try doing it with someone who has the exact same interest and tastes. If it's a female clone, honestly I'd probably just do the same. But we'd probably fuck afterwards. Very obviously kill it. And then use it to fake my death. I'd give him a nice day, food, fun, whatever, and then at the end of it he'd have a serious accident. Big insurance payout. Penalty-free access to my retirement, and student debt discharge. I don't understand why no one else has said this. I have bad self-esteem, so I've always wanted to see myself from an outsider's view. Childhood bullying was terrible, and it affected me deeply, still does. I've gotten male attention a lot in life, but haven't believed them. Maybe seeing it for myself would help my self-esteem unless I'd be biased. Look at myself from the back. There are times friends have taken pictures of me walking away, and it's usually very pretty. But I haven't been able to completely accept it myself, so I would make the clone walk ahead and watch how beautifully my body moves, and how my curly hair sways with the wind. Drop him through a trapdoor in the floor into a glass casket full of water with an auto-latching hatch. He would drown, and I'd hire a couple of blind guys to haul it away for permanent storage. No one would ever find out, and I could continue doing this each night as part of my act. NG, it knows what I know, and there's a perfect copy. It would go to work in my place, and I'd stay home and clean the house because it's really hard to find the motivation to do it when I get home every day. I wish I could say something more exciting. But that's life in your late 30s. Fuck her mercilessly. Then examine the body from the outside to do the objective makeover. Maybe make her work, but I would love her too much by them. Talk about shit we agree on and maybe attempt solve some issues you can really only talk to yourself. Now I got excited. The armed forces in my country and take for assigned leaders, I will probably test the trap I built and initiate my plan, which is possible in 18 hours. I live in the same state with my beloved targets. And of course, I'm theoretically speaking. Take her shopping. See what different styles I'm afraid to try really look like on me. Change her hair as well. Then I'd get her really drunk while real me is sober, so I can horrify myself once and for all from drinking because of how dumb and dull it makes me. There are only two options: fuck them or fight them. They are the only ones worth exploring that would give you valuable insight into oneself. While each have their pros and cons, I would honestly have to say I'd try both. The real question is, which would I do first? I'd take emotional inventory, I think. It's hard for me to do it internally for some reason. I'm pregnant right now, and just want to make sure I'm doing as well as I feel like I am. It would be a lot easier, to be honest, if I'm just talking to myself. Just be having arguments. Massive rows. Me, what the fuck? That's my seat. Get out. Clone, no, it's my seat. I'm you, so it's my seat too. Me, that's not how it works, you fucking cunt. You only just got here. I actually bought that seat, you prick. Wrestling match. Not laugh at each other's jokes, we see a mile away. Maybe move some stuff around easier. Hump dance Our Lady around like Night at the Roxbury. Get something to eat. Stuff like that. Okay. So basically most of the people would take advantage on themselves. But to answer the question, I would follow her around to see how people really react to her. Then I would give her as much as compliments as possible. For 24 hours, I'd divide tasks efficiently to accomplish more. One of us could work while the other relaxes. Tackle household chores together, and maybe even swap places for a bit of fun and confusion. I guess. Like, play some video games and have the same discussions I have in my head IRL. 24 hours isn't long enough for us to come up with a scam of like alternating who goes to work to make life easier or something. He with some elaborate plot to make my coworkers lose their minds and hopefully convince my boss that I'm part of an alien race or some shit. And that if they don't give me a pay rise, we will fuck them up. Me. Be in public places with lots and lots of witnesses. My clone, taking care of some stuff needs handling. If my clone only gets 24 hours, I'm not going to cheat them out of the fun by making them be the alibi. I'd make another clone of the clone, and keep making slightly shittier clones of clones until we find the dumbest possible version of me. After that, me and the other clones will elect their due to Congress. I'd go around introducing him as my long-lost twin brother and make such a huge impression of him that when he disappears, people will be asking me about him for years to come. And that's where I kill him. As if you don't already know what we'd all do. Pretty obvious answer. Dude. ... Needless to say, that clone would have a sore ass the next day from sitting at a desk doing my work all day for me. I'd let my clone hang out in public spaces with a lot of witnesses, attend festivals, take photos with celebs, etc. While my clone is having a good time, I'd don a disguise and settle some old scores. Obviously everyone is having sex with themselves first thing. Next thing is to sit around for the next 23 hours 59 minutes fighting over who gets to do the hobby I've only got enough for one person to do. Have the clone go to school for me, then sleep all day. Clone will then proceed to explain any important assignments I've missed. I'm severely lacking in sleep and also not a gooner unlike some of you. I would get a hotel for the 24 hours and let my clone just be me for the day. Finally, a solid day of rest and relaxation without any fear of bullshit interrupting. And my shit still gets done. Why are so many people here trying to make their clone do a job they don't want to do? They're your clone, not your slave. They don't want to do it either. You daft folding tables. Go out on the pool with my twin as a novel angle trying to entice women out of my league for a spit roast. Probably fail. Go home and play 1 versus 1 games until the time runs out. I would become the greatest magician of all time. My rival would be beside himself, wondering how I'm doing all of these tricks until he finally discovers my dark secret. Well, my clone can go to work for me then. And I can play with my dogs and do my veggie garden. Actually, it's not a bad idea. I'm suddenly no longer against clones. Well, it's gonna disappear anyways, might as well experiment on it. It's just me after all. Or I'll force it clean with me or something. Do the shit I don't wanna do. If it's an exact copy of myself, I'm gonna make sure he doesn't do something that'd get the real me in trouble, since he knows he's only got 24 hours left to exist. I have a twin sister. I've already tried everything non-bizarre things you can do. Switch places, make each other's tests. Using me others it's boring. This is exactly what I need, because there are not enough hours in a day for me to get everything I need to get done. But if there was two of me, achievable, making sure that clone goes to work, and meanwhile I'll be out there robbing a bank. All the witnesses will say I was at work, so not possible for it to be me. If she's the non-messed up, happy version of me, we'd have a blast. Go to a concert, take a road trip, sing, run, dance, buy all the gas station snacks. Why is everyone saying they would have sex with themselves? If I was a clone of myself, I would more than likely clown on myself for even suggesting that. Have you seen Living with Yourself on Netflix? I'd honestly probably spend the first 24 hours freaking out that I even have a clone in the first place. All the things I want to say to customers, but can't because I don't want to be in jail or fired. You hear clone say what you are really thinking.